Hey, Shalom. Video number 2. I don't usually do 2 videos in a day, but today is an exception. It seems that we are going to be having a severe energy crisis. And when I mean by energy, I don't just mean what most people call power. Now, mind you, if you take a listen to that word power, the power company, let that resonate with you, what you're actually saying. But I digress. We're going to have an energy crisis. Not only are we having a food crisis, but we're also having, especially in the western states, a severe water crisis, but also an electricity crisis. Well, that's what people call power. There are articles. I didn't copy the link, but if you just type it into your Google search bar, you'll see that there are tons of articles right now talking about that literally across this country there's going to be regular rolling blackouts. Regular rolling blackouts. That's huge. I mean, you remember it used to be a time where this whole idea of the new normal. There used to be a time where it didn't happen as often. Now it's a regular occurrence, and they're saying that this year it's going to be a regular occurrence. It means multiple times. So you add that in with the fact that we are having a water situation in the West, and you add that in with the fact that there is going to be a food crisis coming up. That's energy, because your body converts food through the ATP process into a fuel that can be burned. Your body burns that fuel. It burns those calories. It burns those carbohydrates. It burns those proteins, and it burns those fats. Your body needs those units of energy for you to run. Likewise, there's going to be a shortage of actual energy to run your electronics, to run your appliances. And I don't think anybody's thinking about that we have a real energy crisis on our hands right now. A real one. Not this make-believe stuff, not this, well, things are going to get better. There's a real energy crisis. Food and actual electricity. Energy. And that's troubling when you think about the fullness of it. We're going to be going through a summer where people could be having a rolling blackout midday. Midday, when people are relying on their air conditioning, bam, it's shut off. Bam, it's off. And your fans and your air conditioning and your swamp coolers and your window units gone. And you're going to be left with the idea of how do you keep cool? Because most people who live in these states that get really hot, they don't really know how to keep cool. They don't really know what to do. So there are backup plans you can have. You could have a generator. That would require you to make sure you have some oil, motor oil, on hand, and some gasoline or diesel or propane on hand. Depending on what your generator is running off of. But you're going to need a generator, and depending on what you plan on running with your generator, 4,000, 5,000, 3,000, 2,500 watts, somewhere in there, to run the things that you need to run. But remember, gasoline runs out. Most people who run generators don't necessarily know that conversion of gallons to wattage to hours. How much gallons of gasoline are you putting in there? How fast is it burning? How many watts or how many things are you pulling off that generator? How many watts are you pulling off that generator? And how fast that fuel will run out. Most people don't know that. And there's also, they have those solar generators. They have those. And that's another option. I like them. I also like regular generators. Then obviously, running on solar. Just straight up solar. Because those that are running on solar, well, not in California, but those that are running in solar in other freer states, they'll be all right. They'll be all right. They get to run a cooler, or they get to run, maybe their AC. Well, this is a window unit. Some fans. But for those that are going to be dependent on these companies to provide you electricity, what are you going to do? If a rolling blackout comes your way and it's dead smack in the middle of summer, how do you keep cool? Do you know how to keep cool? Have you even thought about how to keep cool in that time? These are the things that we got to start thinking about. These are the things that we got to start really, really focusing on, because these are big changes. The new normal, this is it. This is not a situation that is going to be fixed this year. The new normal is year after year for Yah knows how long. There's going to be these situations, these crises. And what are you going to do? So now that we have, this compounding issue is getting bigger and bigger, and people are going to be running their air conditionings and to stay cool. Meanwhile, food prices are rising, energy prices are rising, and people are running. You're having to make choices of what energy you want more. Do you want to stay cool? Do you want to eat? Since the majority of people have not taken it upon themselves to raise their own food, well, then you're going to be dependent on somebody else to eat. So you have to start weighing and counting the cost. Which one's more important to you? Eating or having energy? These are big questions that we got to start asking ourselves. And a lot of people have some big moves they got to make. There's some big choices that they got to make. We have an energy crisis. Calories, kilocalories, and kilowatts. And it's changing everything. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing this summer's just going to be bad, because people are going to be out there, really looking for a way to eat. They're going to be looking for a way to stay cool. When people are hot and irritable and they got all that stuff going on, you know it's not going to be a pretty sight. It's not going to be a pretty sight, what we see coming. It's not going to be something that is going to be easily navigatable. So I hope you have a plan to navigate through this, to get through this, to get to the other side of this. Because I have a feeling that a large majority don't. A large majority just have it in their mind that they're going to flip that switch and that air conditioner is going to kick on. They're going to go to their grocery store and the shelves are going to be stocked. But there's always that question of, what if it's not? What if you don't flip that switch and there is no air, your lights, your refrigerator, your freezers? Something to think about. Look it up on Google. Type in rolling blackouts this summer, and you'll see that this is going to be a regular occurrence throughout this whole year. I hope you've taken the precautions. Have a plan for what you're going to do when these times come. All right. Bless y'all. Shalom.